Good evening everyone, welcome back to the koi pond. Thought I'd just give you lot a bit of an update of what's been going on. A little bit gone on in the last few weeks. The Achiever and the Platinum Ogon have been moved on. One of my subscribers come down and picked them up. So yeah, they've gone to a nice home in the Peak District now. So yeah, pond's looking a little bit empty at the moment. There are 6 fish left and the Tamasaba. Chag having a munch still. They're just on 1 feed a day still. One little tip actually I will give you, winter feeding, you know, coming out of winter into spring, is all I've used all winter is I've got the auto feeder turned off and I've just used a little cut down thing that actually come from a protein powder, you know, measuring out scoop sort of thing. I've got a couple of these. I've got one that's chopped down a little bit there. Got like a full one. And then also, if you've ever used some of the Colombo products like Alparex or FMC 50, stuff like that, you get the little pots that come with it. They are perfect for measuring out food. That's quite a lot of food for this time of year, but you know, if you're going to sort of measure yourself out how much you want to feed over the day or something like that, that's the block amount. But what I use them for is actually for bicarb dosing. I use one of them every time I clean the Nexus, give it a bit of a sprinkle. That keeps me KH up around sort of 5-6ish, something like that. But yeah, going back to these little scoops, these are perfect, and that's the one I've been using all winter. And literally all I've got is, I can fill this up actually, just a little tub that I've had, it's actually really empty, of sinking balance and floating balance, and I've just been giving them literally 1 scoop of that a day. That's all they've been having. So yeah, just 1 sort of level scoop like that, and that's all they've been getting all winter. It's sat at 12 degrees, and yeah, they're doing fine. The fish are feeding well, eating well. The bit of sinking and the bit of floating works well. It means the Karashi and the Shag get a bit preoccupied with the floating stuff, and the Gosanki go down and eat a lot of the sinking. So it stops that problem of Chags or Karashis or, you know, single coloured sort of stuff, the green stuff can get proper preoccupied and outfeed your Gosanki, which can sometimes be a bit of a skitty feeders. Like I was talking about in the previous video, that problem with the Sankey that I had, with it being a skitty feeder and it not putting on a lot of weight or size, feeding a little bit of floating and a majority sinking, so 2/3 sinking, 1/3 floating, really does help on that. So there's a little tip for you. That's really worked well. That Sankey now has put some serious body on and has just shot up now. And you know, some fish won't feed very well on floating. They just don't want to come up. Yeah, like what I found is as soon as I've started feeding sinking, that Sankey will eat like every pellet that touches the floor. It's the greediest little fish on sinking food, but it's the worst feeder on floating food. It's skitty, it comes up and eats 1 pellet at a time. It's just not how it wants to eat. And sometimes you've just got to change the feeding of how the fish want to feed to how you do things. So yeah, that's literally all they've been having all winter. 1 scoop of that a day. Cleaning the Nexus every 2 or 3 days-ish, depending on how it looks. Keep an eye on the KH, keep an eye on the other parameters, which have been fine. And yeah, pretty chilled. So yeah, let's get into it with plans for 2026. Let's go. Let's figure out what we're going to do and hopefully set some goals, and let's see if we can hit them by the end of the year. So then, some goals and achievements I want to hit this year, 2026. One of the things I've been really thinking about this coming year is with filtration. I went over and over and over in my head. You've all seen the space that I've got here in the filter shed. I'll show you something real cool. Let me just show you this a second. So yeah, there's my new little setup I've got for filming my videos. Picked up this little tripod off of Facebook sales. So yeah, super extendable legs. Fits on there perfect. Stops me having to hold the camera like that on my little selfie stick thing and getting a dead arm after 5 minutes. So yeah, that's working brilliantly. Anyone that doesn't know, I use the little Canon V10 camera to do my bit of vlogging that I do. It works what I want to do. It's not the highest quality of camera, but it's simple. It didn't cost the earth. My wife actually got it me, to be honest, as a Christmas present a couple of years ago, which actually made me start this YouTube video, because I thought, well, I've got to do it justice. I've bought a decent camera. I'll be given a decent camera for Christmas, so I better use it to its full potential. So yeah, that's a nice little camera. The beauty with that is it works. You can work it through an app on your phone. So I do all my editing on my phone. I don't use a laptop or anything. It's nice, simple and easy. So yeah, picked up this nice little tripod up of Facebook sales. 10 quid. And then I literally had to buy that adapter there, which just gives me a bit more flexibility to take the camera round and round and up and down, pan and tilt sort of angles. So 20 quid, I got myself a mega little tripod setup. You can't go wrong. So yeah, that's my little setup that I've made. Hopefully it makes these videos look a little bit better. Some of the things I've got planned as well will make it a lot easier to film and that sort of thing. So yeah, sorry, getting back onto topic. Filtration and that in here. So last year the pond worked brilliantly. I can't complain, everything went quite well. The only thing that stopped me doing what I wanted to do a lot was I had to keep on top of the Nexus a lot. I was feeding rather heavy, probably I got up to around 300-400 grams a day of, what was I feeding about that? Oh, FD build-up last summer. And yeah, the build-up's, it's a nice food. It's quite a dirty food compared to like the Hikari products. So that meant that the Nexus needed cleaning quite regularly. I'd be pushing it if I left it free, like cleaned it, left it a day, left it another day, then cleaned it on the third day. I'd be really pushing the limit there. When I was at peak feeding, ideally it worked the best when I was every other. So that meant I was getting a nice amount of water changes, but the only thing that limited me on is leaving the pond. If we went away for the weekend, went up the coast, I'd have to, like, say we went away on the Friday, I'd be alright Saturday, but on the Sunday, we were pushing it, like, sort of thing. So I thought about it and thought, like, how to do it. Could I fit a drum in here? Didn't really want to go down the shower route. I quite like the moving bed way of filtration and how to do things. Like I said, I've talked in previous videos, that space over there, it's too shallow to put a shower on. I know everyone's going, oh, just stick a shower up there, it'd be brilliant. I've literally got that much to play with. It's 180 mil. I can't stick a shower over there. It's not wide enough, the shelf, to stick one on. Yeah, I could put a plank of wood, a bit of like 6x2 or 8x2 across there. Yeah, could do that. The only problem is there's not a lot of a shelf that side to secure the plank on, and that side is a 1x1. So, because that obviously the pond is built as the retaining wall as that back wall, the liner has got a 1x1 underneath it and a 1x1 on top of it. So there's actually putting something against that corner, there's no support there, so I can't even put a piece of wood across the back. So basically, a shower at that end, it's a no-go. The only thing I can do, if I was going to fit a shower, is put it, like I had it in the other video, down here in front of the Nexus. But I tried it, it was too loud, it was too noisy, it made the space in here quite small, because the one thing I love about coming in here, like, it's 1 degree outside. Like, I'm in my pond, I'm in my filter shed, I've got the jump guard taken down, and I'm in there with my fish. Like, it's brilliant, it's lovely. The one thing I don't want to do is take away and put a massive shower there, and what happened is I'd only have like view from like here, and then I'd almost be like looking around the corner because there's a big bloody shower there. Cool. And it made a lot of noise, you know, with the neighbours and everything. I don't want to upset them and that sort of thing. So I've got it in my head, literally all I want was moving bed filtration. So I started racking my brains tail end of last year of how I could possibly fit a drum in here. So God knows how many hours went by trying to think of how to fit a drum. I've gone through all the different makes. I thought, oh, that one will be nice because it's a smaller drum. You know, that type will be better because it'll fit in the corner nicely and the outlets will swing. I've gone through every permutation you can think of to try and fit a drum, and more importantly, the bio chamber size that I want, because I'm not messing around. If I'm putting a drum in, I'm putting a whacking great big moving bed in, because I've gone into it and talked to a lot of people about moving bed filtration. I've gone to the realms of getting totally obsessed and real nerdy and geeky with it. I believe, this is just me, my opinion, for a moving bed to work properly, I think you should have 2/3 water and 1/3 media, and then gauge your amount of media that you want in there to that then depicts the size of your biochamber, because then it gives the dwell time the optimum amount of time it can be there with the contact with the water and the media. I hate seeing these tiddly tiny little moving bed filters that are erupting like a volcano, and yeah, alright, it might work, but it's not the best. So my thinking was, let's crush the numbers of how a Nexus works. We all know Nexuses work pretty slow, you know, flow rate wise, and they do that for a reason, to get the dwell time there. So for the optimum amount of time in a moving bed, I think you need to work on, like you say, the rule of 5 minutes. You need to work out the flow rate you want to put through that filter, and the size of the filter, and then work out how much water you need in that filter to get the correct dwell time. It's not complicated, it is so simple, it's unbelievable. It sounds like degree level stuff, trust me, it's not. If I can do it, anyone can do it. You can do it on the calculator on your phone. And for the size that I wanted to run with 200 litres of K1. So that would mean I'd need a moving bed filter with a capability of holding up to 600 litres of water. That was my thinking, that's how I went about it. Yeah, it might be right, people might disagree with me, but that's how I wanted to go about it. But the size of it wouldn't fit in the footprint as I wanted it. I've gone down the routes of looking at a gravity return system, a bit like Frank on the Koi channel, how he's got his, to gain a bit more space, and the normal conventional style sort of gravity fed and then pumped back instead of it being gravity return style. The long and the short of it, I haven't got the space. I can't fit a drum in here and the size of biochamber that I want. I would have loved to, because it means I could have done other things, but if I'm perfectly honest, like, the Nexus has been flipping banging good, like. If you could just, this is when I was thinking in the back of my head, I was like, well, what is actually wrong with the Nexus? And then I was like, well, nothing. The only thing that annoys me with the Nexus is that you need to keep on top of the maintenance. So with that in mind, I'm gonna put an auto kit on the Nexus. It makes the best out of the space that I've got, and it sort of kills two birds with one stone a little bit. Like, it means I haven't got to move the filter room around too much. I haven't got to do any pipework changes, because my Nexus is a 220 plus. That means it's literally bolt on, ready to go to fit an auto kit on. It's already got the rivets in the moulding of the Nexus body itself. So for not a lot of money compared to adding a drum on, we're going to try the brand new version of the auto kit that EA have brought out. They've changed a few things in the kit. I think the waste valve's different, and there's some big upgrades in the actual control box of the auto kit. A few of like the timer relays and stuff like that they are having issues with, they've changed. So when I next go up to Tim's at Quality Nishikoi, I'm going to pick myself up one of the new version auto kits, and we're going to give it a good test out on the pond. With that in mind, what I'm going to try and do, and I'll do a separate video on this, is I'm going to try and see how a Nexus with an auto kit runs, like with adjusting the timing frames on it. To be honest, there's very little information on this. You go on YouTube, I think there's a couple of videos that EA did, but there's not a lot on the auto kits. Tim's done a few videos, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to fiddle around with the relay timers inside the control box, and I'm basically going to turn my Nexus into not a drum, but I'm going to change the timings of it so that it basically cleans every day. I'm just going to come in here, set it up, get it so it cleans at, say, I don't know, 9 o'clock at night every day. It'll do the one boil, drop the middle. That's the only disadvantage with doing an auto kit, is you don't put the stack pipe in when you've got that, so you will lose a little bit more water because you're dropping the outer chamber as well. It's the price you pay to have an automatic system fitted on the Nexus, but it's one of the drawbacks. But at the end of the day, actually, you're changing a bit more water, so give or take, and it's going to be a move in the right direction. So yeah, we're going to fiddle around with the timings. We're going to get it so it cleans every day. So basically, I'm going to worry about it. That means that the middle centre shouldn't get clogged up too badly. I mean, if I find it's a bit excessive, I'll just turn it to every other day, like I was this summer already. But I feel that if I went to, we'll trial it on like a 24-hour cycle and see how it goes. I mean, we can fiddle with it, we can change it to, I think the least you can actually do is 24 hours. So if I find that it needs a little bit more, or I can get away with more, I'll turn it to like 48-hour cycles. But that's my plan with filtration this year, is basically sticking an auto kit on this Nexus. It stops the problem of me not being able to leave the pond. It means I can go away at weekends. Like I say, I've got the auto topper already on the pond, so I don't have to even worry about the water. It'll literally do everything itself. We've got the auto feeder set up, so with that and the auto kit, the auto top up for the water, we should be grand. The only thing I'm going to have to really keep on top of is my KH then, because we're changing a lot of water, hopefully feeding quite a lot as well. I'm going to have to keep on top of the KH. So yeah, that's the plan for filtration this year. So let's go down and explore some of the other achievements and goals that we want to get to in 2026. So, stocking of the pond and fish in the pond for 2026. What are we going to do? Basically, it's going to stay pretty much the same. We're going to run low stocking. We're going to feed these fish up Hopefully we're going to get the vast majority of them up and over and around the 60 cm mark. The Karashi is over 60 cm at the minute, and the Chag is not far behind it. But what I'd like to do is get the free toes eye from last year up and around 60 cm. I think that'll be real good. Like I say, there's 6 fish left in the pond at the minute. I've got a few trips to some dealers that I've got planned. You know, I'd like to end the year maybe with 1, possibly 2 more fish. That's it. I don't want to go crazy. I don't want to start chucking, 15 fish in here. I want it to be nice, settled, chilled, because that worked really well this year. Not adding fish, willy-nilly through the year. Just literally put your fish in, get over the spell of whatever you're going to deal with, parasite-wise, get up to your temperatures, get some food into them. I think that's the way to go. There's no point messing around. Let's just sort of keep everything nice and stable and go from there. So let's move on to probably the only thing we've got left is what food am I going to feed this year? And that's really, really simple. I'm going to feed Saki Balance Sinking all year. If they want more food, I'm going to give them more food. As simple as that. I'm not messing around with mixtures or types. I'm literally just going to feed them as much Saki Balance as I can put into them. And yeah, see where we go. It's a good all-round food. I'm really impressed with it. It's low waste. The water looks really, really nice on the Saki products compared to other makes of food. So that's my choice for this year. Saki Balance Sinking, and I'll probably get a little bit of Sakis floating just to feed if I have visitors or something like that, or someone coming around, or that's going to be my primary. It's going to be Saki Balance Sinking and maybe a bit of floating, and that's it. No colour food, no growth food, just nice and simple. Keep it easy, and if they want more, give them more. As simple as that. That's all we're going to do. And then I suppose one of the last things that we're going to need to do this year is set some goals for the YouTube channel. We're going to do a few more pond visits this year. I've got a few planned with a few people. So yeah, that should be good. I really enjoyed doing that one last year of Phil Walker's. That got really good views, and yeah, really nice to go around, meet some people, look through their filtration, look through their koi collection, and yeah, really interesting. I'm going to try and push the YouTube a bit more this year. I slackened off last year, and I really shouldn't have done. I just got it going, got it rocking and rolling, and yeah, other things come in the way, and family life and that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm really keen to get this YouTube up. I'm going to try. There's actually a goal I'm going to set for myself. I want to try and get to 1,000 subs this year. That would be brilliant. Not for the monetized reasons, not for any of that. Just a goal for myself more than anything. Because yeah, why not? Set a challenge, try and hit it, try and smash it, and then once we get to 1,000, we'll set another one, and we'll go from there. So yeah, let's go. Let's see what we can do. And then I suppose the last bit of news for 2026 is I've booked to go back to Japan. Yes, get in. We're going to go harvest season this year. So I went 12 months ago, pretty much. A little bit longer, 13 months ago. Last time I went was the All Japan Koi Show trip. So loads of snow at that time of year. Looking at a lot of videos and that people have been putting out, there was even more snow this year. So yeah, so it's going to be a big change. It'd be nice to see the sort of places that I saw when I was out there with no snow. I'm going to go out there for 2 and a bit weeks this year. So yeah, it's going to be real interesting. Do a few harvests, hopefully really get into it. I'm really looking forward to it, saving my pennies now basically, because all this year is focused around going to Japan in October. So yeah, really looking forward to it. Might have splashed out a little bit and purchase an Azakari at Shintaro. So hopefully we'll be lucky enough to harvest that while we're out there. So fingers crossed that my shower does well in the mud ponds this year. So let's see how we go. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, plenty more to come this year. And yeah, make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much.